people were left weak and the enemy took advantage of these circumstances to take these people who had been born to triumph to the greatest of all misfortunes. 2. When everyone pulls their own way and no one agrees, then misfortune is like knocking on the door. 153. Or when there is no united front in the home, or when the children pull on one side and the parents on the other, or when there are divided groups in the church, then we are headed for disgrace and ruin. Be the person who made you exist, seeing you in that situation, can only cry, because he knows that his dreams or his plans and wishes for you will never come true, that is, in a disunited couple, in a divided family, in a divided church, or in a person who has a divided soul. God is limited in his work. Formalism. 1. The people of God not only had problems because of their struggle for independence or because of the way they treated others or because of the division in which they lived, the worst of all was their formalism, and they knew what they had to do and they simply did it, as if that would be enough. They were more concerned with complying with the rules than with maintaining a relationship with the Lord of the rules. The rules and laws were their priority. What interested them most was that everyone knew them because of the number of laws that they strictly complied with. They had all the appearance of a child of God but were not born of God. 1. Let me explain. They seemed to be children of God, they had everything that a child of God has, but in reality they were not children of God. They seemed but they were not. They even had a last name, and in the eyes of people they seemed that way but they weren't. 2. The worst of all is that they themselves were not aware of their reality. They thought and believed that they were already children of God for having been born in Israel and for doing everything that the Israelites did. 2. We today can also truncate our development and leave it halfway or finally fall into disgrace for this same reason. Formalism. Being an Adventist and living as an Adventist in the eyes of people is easy. Having the form of an Adventist, it is simple, but it is not enough. Being a child of God is more than being baptized and returning the tithe or keeping the Sabbath strictly. It is more than that. Being a child of God means being born again and living in permanent communion with God. It means dying every day to sin and being born every day of God and for God. Let me tell you that just as before, today, our concern for forms, for what people see, means that we do not give importance to what is really important, what no one sees, what happens in our minds and our heart. Before, the people of God truncated their development due to their desire for independence, also due to the misuse of their position or due to lack of a correct understanding. 154 regarding their position, also due to the divisionism in which they lived, and finally due to their formalism. Today, I hope, some and not the vast majority of us, suffer and live in this world surviving, making God sad, making our loved ones sad, or finally feeling ourselves dissatisfied and unfulfilled, for the same reasons already mentioned. God loves you, loves your family, loves his church, loves this institution, and the day that by divine will you were born or